have checked out the Homunculus rune in a 0-cell run, just trying to use that as my only source of damage. I want to see how well it works in my full save file here. One where I have everything unlocked on 4-cell mode, so enemies are going to be more densely packed, do more damage, blah blah blah, etc. And see how it works in more, you know, normal gameplay rather than some sort of crazy challenge mode type of situation. It was pretty good when I was working against 0-cell dudes. Let's see how well it works when I try to go for a full build. Nice. Especially because one of the major issues with... Oh, right. He didn't see me, did he? Especially considering that right now I'm going to be... The whole single target issue is going to be way more of a problem. But also having more access to Wolf Trap, Hokuto's Bow, you know, damage reduction items in general might make it even easier to do instead. Nice. So I'm gonna try to grab all of those, go split tactics survival type run, see if I can make something work here. I don't know. I think I'm even gonna try to go against some of the tougher enemies in the game, go like the sewer route. Oh, that's a good get as far as damage over time goes as well. Obviously damage over time is gonna be anything fire, is going to be anything poison, bleeding, and those all get enhanced along if you're using a wolf trap or if you're using the Hokuto's Bow. The mark the Hokuto's Bow gives on an enemy. The head is the exact same way, so I don't know, maybe it'll make it easier to do, maybe it'll make it harder because I can't really keep track of the head, and trying to fire it off at enemies keeps getting it attracted to the wrong target. Maybe it'll just be confusing trying to keep track of all those things at once. These are all questions that may or may not be answered over the course of the run. Ooh, that's not bad. That's what I want, though. 16,000. I'm sure I can find another elite here. They are pretty plentiful in 4-cell mode, after all. If you have never seen 4-cell mode before, it's well, it's quite different from any other part of the game, any other level of difficulty in the game. There we are. Essentially because Malaise, which you might have heard about in the little bits of lore around the game, now becomes a real mechanic. You see that little bar over my health there? That's a Malaise bar. Every time I get hit by an enemy, I will get 1 point of Malaise. If that fills up, I start to take damage really rapidly. We're talking death in a couple seconds. To the point that it's pretty much instant death. Although technically it kind of works like the darkness mechanic when you're in Sepulchre, but it's just counted as instant death. You can fix that by, well, dying. Dying will bring it back down to 0. Only useful if you have the heart mutation, though. And eating uninfected food will relieve 1 point. Infected food will add 1 point. It'll still heal you, though. And utilizing your potion will cure 5 points, but you don't get any potion refills, so you're only stuck with the 4. 20 total that you can cure. Oh, that was close. In other words, the name of the game is Don't Get Hit Ever. It's really a different way to play the game. You can't just survival tank your way through or anything like that. Even with high survival, high damage reduction, getting Malaise is still a death sentence, so it's rough. All right, so that's a number one thing here. That should maybe even more than double the damage that I'm getting off of the Homunculus rune at this point. Hard to say. I'll have to look at it when I get to the next area, but that alone will, I mean, it'll double the damage from the... Do I have anything here? No, I think I even have, Yeah, disengagement is unlocked. Okay, cool. Yeah, that whole dying and coming back to life thing, that's very useful for 4-cell mode. But yeah, that'll improve my fire, that'll improve my head, that'll improve, like, bleeding, anything. So, I don't know. Plus, it works well with the survival, it works well with the tactics build, it works well with the combination survival and tactics build. So, pretty effective, at least I found. Alright, what do you get? Yeah, 63 versus 30 just on the regular hit. That's quite a bit. That's quite an increase. Ooh, and right over here is more survival as well as damage reduction, 30%. Yeah, you can see there's the first bit of malaise that I got here. 4th cell is rough, and unfortunately, I have found out that there is no 5th cell in the game. Just nope. And you hit the completely wrong thing. Come on, man. And still. Yeah, like I was talking about, that whole... Oh? Impaler, you say? 100% on burning target, you say? I might not even need to do the whole rigmarole with damage over time if I'm getting items like this. That said, I'm still gonna try it. I mean, why not? Yeah, that's always the weird thing about doing a survival run. It's highly dependent on the sort of items that you happen to find in the run, because survival weapons alone, I would say, not super good. Too many enemies, too close together, and the punishment for getting hit is just too harsh to risk doing parries, to risk taking slow weapons, which normal survival scaling weapons are. But if you get a good legendary, if you get a good colorless weapon, that can suddenly transform a survival run into an unstoppable juggernaut of a run, taking almost no damage from any individual hit. Obviously not as much of a thing with malaise going on, while also being able to attack as quickly as you could with, say, a brutality weapon. And that's kind of brutality weapon's whole thing. It's fast attacking melee weapons. Similarly, tactics having all the good ranged weapons. Wrong one. 100% on burning is not bad here at all. I am reasonably impressed with what I'm getting right here. I'm not getting any sort of immediate good increase with... Not getting any sort of immediate good increase with taking any of these necklaces, so... Yeah, just gonna sell them for the money right now. Oh, quick bow. But yeah, having fast survival weapons, having fast melee weapons, that can be so good when you get all the ridiculous amount of health when you're using a survival build. But you can never count on it. It's always random. Anyway, I'm still gonna go tactics, I'm still gonna go survival, and I'm gonna see if I can get a Hokuto's bow, which is also a good source of damage reduction, along with buffing up my head and everything here too. But I think in all likelihood, every scroll of power that I come to at this point, I will probably be taking survival, just to stack up in that as much as possible. Oh, that was see, that was the thing I was talking about, where it might be worse to try to go for the head. You whiff that, it's like, that's bad. Yeah, right up against the wall. Ooh, close. Is it any good? I guess technically if I'm going to be going mostly survival, I should take something with survival, but aside from that, I probably could just use the money more. I'm going to be re-rolling shops a lot to try to get the items that I so desire. Ah. Additionally, I don't think it's too good to go for, I don't think it's too good to go for a, curse chest as of right now, because that's just a lot of stress for... I should get enough scrolls going along this path, especially if I'm going to be crawling through these dank sewers, that I don't really need to risk my life for maybe a decent colorless weapon, which doesn't matter because I already got one. Guess I could replace with something better, but eh. And an extra scroll, which, come on, not that useful. I'm already at 7, as of right now, I'm already at 7 survival, which is not bad for the second area. Especially looking at, got 4 in the other 2 stats. Oh, Yeah, if you're ever wondering, my favorite way of doing stat distribution is usually survival. That's what I'm talking about. Usually survival, and then tactics. Tactics is the glass cannon build. It'll definitely get you the most damage out of your weapons. Turrets, just in general, are amazing, and that's where you get all the good ranged weaponry. But it also gives you the least amount of health, so you're going to die in like 2 hits by the time you get into the end game. Survival has become more useful now that legendary items have been introduced. Give to me. Not bad, especially because I got Poison's the Enemy here. Not that, you know, the 91 DPS, which I don't even know if it does any sort of initial damage that would benefit from being poisoned. Whatever. It's not bad at all, what I'm working with here. And efficiency, because I am building tactics. But yeah, tactics glass cannon build. Survival is the tanky build, but the weapons are kind of tough to use, leave you pretty open because they have big wind-ups and big cooldowns. But now that they've introduced legendary weapons to the game, that's a lot different. I would say that it's become a lot more useful because you're always guaranteed to have at least one legendary weapon come from a boss. And there's a good chance that will be something that's not a survival scaling or a skill. Trying to remember what the button to use the homunculus room is. That's kind of a part of the run that I'm trying to do here. There we are. Fine, whatever. And brutality, I honestly don't use too much when in late game. Ah, almost got me there. Almost got me there too. Brutality, I don't use too much when I'm in, you know, late game, working in multiple, huge amount of cells sort of runs. But I think brutality is, I mean, it's the realm of grenades, big burst damage. It's the realm of fast melee weapons, but, you know, getting in melee range can be an issue in higher cell difficulty, and it doesn't give you nearly as much health as survival. However, you do have a bunch of really good options early game. I mean, you have a lot of really great items initially unlocked. Obviously, a lot of these things I'm using right now are dependent on you getting the... Nope. Are dependent on you actually having the blueprint to be able to get in the first place. Impaler, flamethrower turret. I suppose the wolf trap is unlocked from the very start. But there's a lot of really good brutality ones immediately. Yep. Oh, can't even get over there. Maybe I can have him teleport. Yeah, there we are. Oh, dang. Yeah, there's a lot of really good brutality items that are unlocked immediately. We're talking the balance blade. We're talking twin daggers. Oh, this is the worst. There we are. Balance blade, twin daggers, impaler you get pretty early, especially the assassin's dagger, because one of the most potent combinations you can have in the early game is assassin's dagger plus the wolf trap, because wolf trap will prevent enemies from turning around so that you can always be getting those pretty decent critical hits there too. Similarly, one of the things that you get early in the game that scales with brutality and the brutality mutation that gives you cooldown reduction is the ice grenade, which also will freeze enemies like to hit their back, as well as, you know, just stop enemies from moving entirely. It's one of the best crowd control options you have early game. But then when you start to get into late game, you start to appreciate the ability to really appreciate having a whole lot of ranged options. You start to appreciate having a lot of health, because enemies will start doing way more damage the further you get. About the time that you get into 2-cell mode, enemies will start going from doing like 10% of your health bar in late game to doing 60% of your health bar in late game. So suddenly having infected by malaise, it's out of here. So suddenly having a whole huge pool of health becomes way more useful. And then when you get into 4 cell, it becomes a lot less useful because getting hit at all will lead to a very swift and horrible death. Ultimately, Dead Cells is a game where I'd say that it's whatever you want to build. I can have suggestions or whatever that I would give you, like ways that I like doing stuff. But I always... Oh, man, makes a victim bleed? That could have been okay. Especially because it scales with a little bit of survival. Ah! Why did I do that? That was a bad idea. So I just say choose whatever you think is best and like see what works, see what doesn't. There's almost nothing that's really unequivocally terrible in this game. So anyway, should be getting pretty close to the ending here. Oh, I guess everything had already been, God, what is it called? Used. That's what I'm looking for. Each of the wolf traps there had already been used by having some trash mobs get in there. I hate that. Oh, and I'm right next to the ending, too. You know what? It's actually worth doing it. I don't want to, but I'll do it. I have 4 potion charges. I usually like having 2 when I get into the final boss, and with this sort of build, I think it should work out just fine, in spite of using one right now. 105,000. Great. Yeah, you know what? I'll take this engagement. It's the one that you get for getting the homunculus rune and getting that working here. And using it in the first area. It's the one you find above all the hanging vials. Alright, gonna be kind of hard to get her into the wolf trap here, but I'll try. And we did it. Not amazing damage, but not bad. I suppose I should just attach my head up to her right now, because what better usage am I going to... Yeah, there we go. And there we are. Yeah, just keep getting stuck in there. Usually she doesn't like cooperating that much, but hey, whatever works, man. Come on. It's 2 down. Don't want to stand in front of that when it gets unbound, I guess. No, right here, right here. Right here. Oh, come on, you're supposed to... You always do the dash first. What are you doing, conjunctivitis? Trying to make me look like a fool, aren't you? Alright, come on, get into the next phase before you get into your... Dash at me, dash at me. Ah, why do you not want to dash? Do dash. Oh, one hit there. That's the best. Good enough, good enough. Okay. Ah, almost got me there. Not quite. Oh, am I gonna do this battle with one singular hit? Ah, that's the worst. So close to being perfect. Unless, you know, I totally screw up here, which is 100% possible. Never think you're safe in Dead Cells. Ah, nope. Ugh. Come on, dash down here. Don't go into your stupid next phase. Yes. Ow. Well, that was terrible ending, but aside from that, pretty good conjunctivious fight, especially on 4 cell, where that can be kind of rough. Anything cool and new? Absolutely not. Electric Whip is kind of garbage, maybe a little bit, so I can go without that. Oh, I didn't actually notice. Was the homunculus thing working until the very end? God, I keep forgetting that this is the reason why I'm doing this. Why do I not remember to ever look to see what the damage is like? God, that pile of corpses gets big when you die a lot. Well, according to my file, I've done over like 4,000 runs. Nearly at 800 hours in this game. Hoo boy. Getting there, man. Anything up here? New and funky fresh? Yeah, it's too bad that the 5-cell door is still going to be a mystery here because it's... no 5-cell just yet. That was close. Baylor is always a pretty good item. Usually never one that... it's usually more of an early game item for me. There's better stuff you can get late game, but I would never turn down one that I got in a legendary version of when I'm not doing a brutality run here. Attacks fast, it attacks pretty hard, got decent range. Hey, it's one of the first drops you get from the incomplete one. Overall, pretty good. That said, one of the worst items that I think in the game is the spider swarm there, so nice to see that too, kind of hanging around still. As always, I'm not too worried about those guys because they don't inflict malaise. Any enemy that an enemy summons or, you know, bursts into when they die or whatever does not inflict malaise, which is one of the kindnesses they give you in this mode. Same thing with traps. Traps are somehow escape being infected. And by somehow, I mean they're inanimate objects. How? Oh, you saucy boy. Now here's a good usage of this. Still see getting a whole ton of... and that dude's done. Still getting a whole ton of damage by hitting him with a Hokuto's bow and everything, so not disappointed in that at all. I will take this though. Working with this much survival, I should be totally fine even if I do get hit by traps. And of course I'm going to try not to, if given the chance. Damage you take inflicted on enemies? Sure. I don't think I'm going to get too much use out of that, but hey, why not? Tricky, but not nearly as difficult as some of the traps you're going to see here. Super Meat Boy in the background. Well, Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is the game. Well, Meat Boy technically was the game. That was the original Flash game that was kind of a prototype of Super Meat Boy. All dumb name just so they can make it SMB. Oh, Edmund, you clever. You're so clever. Oh, don't! Ah, damn. Oh. This might be a point to use my heart, come back to life, and then... Man, that dude did not want to give up. This might be a point to use my heart, come back to life here, and then be cleared of infection rather than using my charges, at least right now. Use my potion charges. Don't have a whole lot of them. Whoa, hey. Stop having your minions get caught in that. I'm very irritated right Oh, hey, they all died. Cool. Whatever. More worth it for the gold, if nothing else. I need, what, 100,000 to get to the final version of... Oh, have I seen this one before? To get to the S rank version of the Hokuto's bow. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think this one is probably more... yeah, hey. This one's probably supposed to appear more often in the Promenade. Yeesh. Alright. Whoa, getting real high on Malaise right now. Not too happy about that, but if I find like a single chunk of watermelon or something around here, maybe if I even decide to take a if I even decide to take like necromancy or something for a mutation. As not good as that tends to be, hey, it might be useful in this circumstance. Alienation, get healed when you remove curse. A lot of good options for healing that don't require me to use some of my precious potion charges. Anything going on? Nope. Yeah, that's... that was a good jump. Also equally good, if not better, jump. Let's see if I can go find them. Oh, I did not even see that... Did not even see that spike there. There's a 5-cell door. Ain't getting in there. Oh, wow. But yeah, this is also the point in time where I would eat even infected food, so... Ooh, give me something, I don't know. That could be alright. Maybe not necessarily better than the Hokuto's bow or Impaler, so I'll let it go right now. That's the crowd control you get out of the ice bow is amazing, but so is the extra damage that you get out of using this stuff that I'm using right now. Well, oof. Have to excuse me, getting a little stressed out here. You notice that even taking 100%, even taking survival 100% of the time is still, I'm still nearly equal with tactics. That's how many tactics items you come across in a run. Even when you're not trying to build it, you still happen to build it anyway. A lot of these are just cell repositories, which I'm not very interested in. Might be able to get something interesting coming up here, though. Do a little searching around. Nope. Although I'm actually kind of thinking about cursing myself right before I leave the level, which may be in about 5 seconds. And then using that to heal. Maybe not the most effective healing, but it will get me up to full health, if nothing else. Well, I mean, it is the most effective healing. It might not be the smartest healing. We'll see if I die or not. That's kind of the measure of how well you do in Dead Cells. Did you die? Then there, you're perfect. Could not be any better executed. You give me you, and cooldown reduction is always one of the best possible mutations you can take. There's There's no downside to it, and it just is pretty much a overall damage per second increase in most cases. I mean, you don't even need to have any special circumstance to use it. You just get it. Alright, what do we got here? Well, with the cell doors down here, there will also be more opportunities to curse myself and more opportunities to heal if I happen to lose my heart in this area. Not so much in the castle coming up, but at least right now the option is still open to me, even though, again, it's one of the riskier options that you can possibly take. Getting cursed is no joke. That's something. Oof, I don't even want to get near that shocker right now. And because you require a rune to even get up there in the first place, I know that's not going to be a required area to get into. It probably will just lead to a shop or something. Ooh. Inquisitors, especially dangerous when you're down here in the deeps. Gotta use those deeps. Gotta get as many kills as possible here. Okay. These guys, though, not nearly as worried about. Kamikaze bats go down fast enough that they're usually pretty good insofar as... Okay. Woof. Kamikaze bats usually go down fast enough that they're pretty effective insofar as curse relief goes. All you gotta do is just make sure that you don't happen to meet them when you're fighting a whole big group of enemies. By the way, am I still continuing to forget to use the homunculus rune? Yeah. It's so hard to do so against elite enemies, you know, the #1 enemy that I want to use it against, so kind of slips my mind when I'm fighting against other enemies. I'm also killing enemies fast enough that... Ooh, okay, you convinced me. Also killing enemies fast enough that getting the head on there doesn't matter too much. Oh, just go down already. Taking you sweet time here. Get so many cells later in the game that just like, wait, didn't you have something else here? Swear you were gonna give me something else. Anything, I think I probably would do better with having that 20,000 extra gold. To spend it on what? I don't know. Maybe I'll find some better version of a wolf trap or something. Flamethrower turret. And good. And nailed it. Oh, the best. Simply the best. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Which is why I have to catch them. It's my real test. To train them is my cause. You know, I could try to figure out exactly how many of those lyrics I know, but to what end? What's the end game when you try to do that? Yeah, I'm saying that I want to sell stuff to get as much gold as possible here, and I'm just straight up skipping some of the... Oh, you got me. I'm straight up skipping some of the, Wow, I just can't even say anything, apparently, without getting interrupted immediately. Well, that's what it looks like when, you get infectoed. Just in case you were wondering. Didn't stand a chance. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm skipping treasure rooms, is what I'm saying. There. Finished. Alright, do I have any cell doors that I might be able to sneak into, get a little bit of curse action on me right now? As much as I don't want to, desperate times call for equally desperate measures. Maybe taking disengagement again. That'd be cool. So I got a slot free now for a mutation. Seems like that would be more useful on lower cell modes, where you don't have to, where you can get hit a bunch of times without worrying about dying from malaise. Oof, get me on there so quickly. And as much as I don't want to, hey, we'll get some nice fishing action if nothing else here. Could be good. I'm not going to, though. 160,000 gold, not bad at all. Nah. Oh, just gotta be real careful. Not even gonna screw around with that dude. That's how careful I'm gonna be. Again, if I just find a whole bunch of kamikaze bats, that will be no problem at all to get rid of this curse. Well, let's scroll down here, I guess. You also got to worry about light and everything in here, too. Oof. Oof, I say. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit stressed. Okay, well, there's a lot of enemies taken out. Maybe I'll find more in here. I don't know. Does not look like I found more in there. No, 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 no! Wondering if I was gonna outrun that axe. And curse gone. Whew. Nice sigh of relief here, and see, there was no danger at all happening in any way. Aside from that point where I turned into Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man, trying to get to Dr. Connor's class, what part of the movie did say no, no, no over and over? Maybe I'm thinking of Transformers. Who knows? It doesn't even matter anymore. Oh, what am I at right now? 22 survival, not bad at all. That's the power of going through. I thought I was gonna take some darkness damage there. But yeah, that's the power of going through this ridiculous route. You can get a whole lot of scrolls. Two of them from each of the time doors that I went to in the last two biomes. 456, I think I'm fine on cells, especially because I have nothing to spend them on at this point. Unless I somehow get the giant killer. I don't know. And like I said, I've already beaten the game in 4-cell mode here, so I'll kind of know if I was going to... I would know already if I was going to get the giant killer blueprint or the 5th cell or whatever. And it just does not seem to be the case. Just wait for that content to get released. Then, oh, you know it'll be all 5-cell runs from that point on. That's not true at all. Do you know how hard 4-cell runs are alone? I shudder to even think what 5-cell runs could possibly be. There we are. Still not that good. I'm not going to get any sort of upgrade for unless I find like a 3 survival necklace until I get to the castle here. Only way that's going to happen. Oh no! Oh, it almost happened again. Just completely went by him. What can I say? You gotta be careful when you're throwing your head around. It can leave you more than vulnerable in some cases. Now I'm just gonna head to the clock room right now. It's been actually only about 40 minutes, so not bad at all. At least according to my recording time. I have no idea what it actually is. And, should I go... Dead inside be a good option, too. All the survival mutations are kind of terrible. I'll take disengagement. I'll keep rolling on the disengagement train. I should probably also get rid of alienation, because there's Boy, I would have to be in a bad place to have to use that in the next area. Yeah, there we go. It's not bad. I'm seeing some good damage here. Yeah, you can see just how much that damage improves. Yeah, let's. I don't think there's too much to finish at this point. I'm just saying this is done. Didn't even need to. Okay, you have convinced me to take a new weapon. Didn't this exact same thing happen where a legendary impaler got replaced by a legendary spiteful sword during one of the streams? What a... And then I got angry at people calling me on the phone. What a time to be alive. Could have used some of that luck, you know, playing the lottery or something. But no, getting in dead cells here. What a coincidence. All right. Quality of visitors changed a lot. Yeah, I know. Me, for example. Still not entirely sure what to make of that ending, though. It's a strange one. That's pretty good. And infected food, though, so whatever. Oh, do I get 100% on burning target? Doesn't look like it. I should see if I can grab that for the King's Hand fight. Well, at least these elites don't summon. These elites don't summon enemies, so that'll be a good place to use the homunculus rune if nothing else. Not bad. Yeah, you can really see the DPS increase when using the wolf trap, just because it's getting the most out of the stats that I've been building here. Oh, yes, of course, the thing I'm supposed to use. Oh man, it's gonna take me forever to get used to that. All right, what do we got? Ooh. Well, for some reason that Guardian Knight didn't want to attack me too quickly, so wasn't too much of a problem at all. Yeah, Guardian Knights are kind of the most important thing to watch out for when doing anything with melees here. They can hit you a whole bunch of times, much like a lacerator. That will get you killed very quickly, as I have found out more than once. Flamethrower turret, despite the fact that, what, it's only a, I guess it's a 5 flamethrower turret V, but it's, despite getting it pretty early in the game, it's still doing very well for me. I'm honestly kind of surprised. Having 2 tactics, though, doesn't hurt either. That really benefits the whole efficiency mutation that I'm going for here. Now, like I said, you always want to take the cooldown mutations, unless you're trying to purposely not take the cooldown mutations. Doing the challenge run, because they're so good. They are so very amazing. Is this a questionable go? Well, first off, dual tracker fight can be kind of difficult, and especially because they don't get set on fire. Ah, there you go. Not a problem, though. Should take the other guy down. Good. Oh, yeah. Do a lot of fire-based builds here, so generally going for dual track doesn't matter. Well, it's not a good idea, but hey, it worked out fine here. Although I did get hit once, which is kind of a problem, but hey, I got 3 potion charges left, it should be fine. right. Anybody else? No, we good. I'm actually gonna go upward, see if I can find the exit here, because there's not too much more I want to do in the castle here. I think I should be fine on... Come on, kill it. I think I should be fine on, come on. On scrolls and everything here. How much damage am I actually doing? 501. It's not taking them down very quickly. Like over 1,000 when I throw on that. Well, I guess I'm going for 3 keys now, never mind. I mean, it's decent damage, but it also kind of requires a specific type of setup. So, whatever. I think it's just kind of a cherry on the top sort of build here to have that, to try to be getting the... Like, it's a good enough build as it is, but trying to get the homunculus rune to work with it is just a little extra damage. Doesn't really make too big of a difference, but hey, it's nice to have that there. Will probably be pretty useful when I get to the hand fight and everything. Don't even want to deal with that. Will probably be useful for the hand fight, but I can't really see it make like a huge difference doing it. Using that in there. Ending? Have I looked at this one before? Bunch of plants. Obviously related to the half man, half plant. Is that like the thorny? Because this is related to the thorny area, which I like to call the botanic laboratory. Failed to survive though. Well, I'm like some kind of weird green blob thing. Maybe I'm half plant. I don't know. You tell me. Is there anything more towards the alchemic laboratory over there? That seems like that could be a pretty big hallway, which generally indicates the end of the castle here. Let's take a... Okay. Hee, almost, but no. This is a very large, Ah-ha-ha! See, that's what I'm talking about, you know, when I get hit by those guys. This is a very large hallway. Yeesh. Anything? Maybe down here. I swear, I still cannot figure out exactly where the exits and entrances are in the castle here. Got a pretty good feeling for, like, the rest of the entire game, but when it comes to the castle, I still feel lost every single time I get in here. That's the easy way to get that blueprint now. All right. 2 charges. That's exactly what I was saying that I like to have for this fight. Pretty decent build going on here. 556 cells. Not bad at all. No. Come on. Get rid of the 1%. Okay, fine. I'll just so I don't accidentally take a whole bunch of extra damage by re-rolling that. I just wanted the plus 100% on burning target. But it was not to be. Let's do this. Alright, first thing to do. Remember, homunculus rune. Well, roll behind him so you don't get hit by the lance. But then homunculus rune. Not bad. Great. Not bad damage at all here, so I think it's going pretty well. You only got 1 attack off there. Well, 2, I guess, if you count the... Did it just explode? Thought he would have been a little bit tankier than that. Guess not. Somehow still got hit by that. Alright, let's just go full health. Finish this off right now. Didn't even get to do his big slam. So yeah, is it a game changer, the Homunculus Rune? Nah. But hey, it worked well in that fight, I'd say. It does some damage, certainly.